Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing Puckish. Now, you may have noticed that the background behind me is a little bit different, and it's actually the reason why I'm probably looking a little bit disheveled compared to normal. So, given what I've relayed to you in the past around our dog's sleeping habits, today we basically rearranged the house a little bit so that our bedroom is a bit closer to the basement where she feels comfortable. We're not moving to the basement, it's far too cold. But at least it's on the ground floor rather than we're having to run up and down 2 flights of stairs every morning at 2 a.m. Although we did actually get a couple of movers, professionals nonetheless, to help us to actually kind of move, rearrange bedroom, office, etc. It took them 8 hours, plus, well, as I said, with my disheveled appearance, a bit of assistance from me as well. Anyway, as usual, we're playing today James Sinclair's puzzles. There is 2 of them, on the off chance that I am, thinking clearly enough to be able to actually solve more than one puzzle in under 10 minutes. Anyway, well, the first puzzle at least in under 10 minutes, so that I can actually do the second one in hopefully under half an hour. Anyway, enough of all of that. Let's take a look at today's puzzle and rule set with Puckish by James, that is not Puckish, this is Puckish, by James Sinclair, and the following set of rules. First one is normal Sudoku rules apply, means place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column of course, and every 3x3 box, so nothing unusual here. Then we've got the killer cages. The sum of the digits inside each cage is equal to the small number in the top left corner. So these 2 cells have to add up to 3, have to add up to 7, 13, 12, etc. Let's keep going. We've got thermometers. So digits on thermometers increase from the bulb end. So this will be the bulb end for this thermometer. Digits have to increase from the bulb end, so this would have to be 3 or higher. Doesn't have to be in regular steps, so you could see a step of 1, a step of 2. Whatever I cannot do, however, is decrease at any point along that thermometer. So that 4 has broken things. Digits in cells separated by a black dot have a 1 to 2 ratio, so these 2 cells have to be in a 2 to 1 ratio. If this cell is 2, for example, this would have to be 1 or 4, so that essentially one cell is double the other. Fairly straightforward set of rules. So as always, if you want to play along, link will be in the description down below for you to do so. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. Right, 3 cages. We got a couple of them, let's say a couple of 3 of them. They can only be 1 and 2. Clearly, because they're in the same row, the digits cannot repeat. They can only be 1 and 2 to add up to 3. 4 can only be 1 and 3. 1 and 2 next to the 7 cage in box 5, well, 3 ways of getting to 7 in 2 cells. 1, 6, not available. 2, 5, not available. This is 3, 4. Where do I go from here? I've got a 1, 2 pair. Not very useful. I mean, it eliminates a few options, probably. Right, so this is not 1, 2, or 3, because this is not 1, 2, or 3. So this is at least 4, 5, 6, 7. Still a lot of degrees of freedom, more than I would prefer to pencil mark, but I'm going for it. Right, the 9 cage, I kind of skipped that. These 2 cells, they have to be in a 2 to 1 ratio and add up to 9. That can only be 3, 6. This is not 1 or 2, so this cannot be 3, because the minimum this could be is 3. So this has to be 6. This is 7 or 8, 8 or 9. That 6 removes a 6 option from here, which is not enough to help influence either because it's in the middle. This has to be a 3. That gives me 1. That gives me 1. That gives me 3. Sudoku says 3 is in one of these 3 cells, where it clearly, let me just delete that so you can see it, cannot be inside the 13 cage. If there's a 3 in here, that would have to be a 10. So that's 3. I mean, I'm feeling very proud of myself, by the way, doing Sudoku as part of the solve. And the more I seem to do it, the easier these puzzles seem to get for me. The 7 cage, yeah, it doesn't have quite the same restriction as we have here with the 9. Notice this is not 1, 2, or 3 again, and it has to be smaller than 6, so this is 4 or 5. So again, only a couple of degrees of freedom. And unless I'm missing something obvious, actually, 3 is in one of these 2 cells. It can absolutely be here this time, unlike the 13, because this could be 9. Yeah. but I feel like I'm going to have to pencil mark these thermometers, which I'm really not keen to do. You know, the smallest this can be is 2, 4, 5, 7. It's not that bad, right? 7. So okay, so this cannot be 1, so that's at least 2. This cannot be 3, so this is 4. This can be 5. This cannot be 6, so this is 7, 8, 9. However, this can be 5, 6, 7, 8. You see kind of why I didn't want to do this. 4, 5, 6, 7, not 6. And then not 3, but 4, 5, 6. So still a ton of options. If I can resolve these 1, 2s, I think I'm going to have an easier time. Just need to see how I can do that. You know, famous last words. How do I do that? Actually, here's something. 1 and 2, they're not in any of these cells. They can't be inside the 13 cage. You know, if 3 is too small, 1 and 2 surely are. This is a 1, 2 pair. That gives me 1, 2 pair here, which is not very helpful. That 3, however, that 1 gives me 2, 1, 2, 1. Doesn't help me with this. If that was 2, that would have been more helpful, but... Right, 1s, they add, kind of line up. That's a 1. That's, for the moment, as far as I could take it, seemingly. 2's not here, 2's not there. Actually, never mind. Already have placed it. So 2 is in one of these 2 cells. 2 is in one of these 3 cells. At least this is no longer a 1, but it can be a 2. The thing is, it actually kind of needs to be fairly low because of the 7 cage. So this could go to 3. This can go to 4. This can go to 5. This is not looking good. Obviously, there's a limit on how big this can be. This can go all the way up to 6. If this is 6, that would be 1. That would be 2. That would break because you can't have 1, 2 in here. So 6 is off limit. So this is a maximum 3, 4, 5. This cannot be a 3. It cannot be a 4. And it cannot be 5. It's too big. So this is definitely 2. 3, 4, 5 in here. Well, this is either 3, 4 or 2 to add up to 7, and it can't be 2, so this is not 5. 3, 4 in here, this could be 6 or 8. Obviously the 4 cannot be 2 here. And 3, 4 in there. I mean, I don't know if I want to pencil mark these, but hang on. 3, 4, let's just have a look. That's not 4. Therefore, that's not 5. That's as far as I could take it, seems. Sorry, give me a moment. 1s, 1s. Can't have a 1 inside the 12th cage because that would be 11. So that's 1, that's 3, that's 9. That removes a degree of freedom in here. And actually forces this to be a 5 because 6 and 7, you know, doesn't allow me to fit a 7 on the thermometer here. So that's 5, that's 4. 6, 7, 7, 8. That's not bad. Come on, Sleuth. Let's see if we can get under 10 minutes and solve another, please. The 1, come on. 1, 4, 3, 8. 3 gives me more degrees of freedom, although admittedly this cannot be 4. So this is at least 5. 6, 7, can't be 8. This is at least 6, but it can be 6, 7, 8, 9. This 1 gave me 2, 1, 2, 1. 1s are surely done now. Is that 9 of them? Yep. 2s surely very close to being done. Not quite. Just kind of surprising me, if I'm honest. 3s. More 3s than I would like. In fact, 3s line up in columns 4 and 5. So that's not a 3, that is a 3. And then I have a 3 X-wing left, which is fine. Another 4, 5, another 6, 7, and an 8. Okay. Where am I going next? Anything fairly... I mean, like, I haven't done anything with the 13 cage, but all of the remaining digits can work. Literally. So I'm kind of looking for easy Sudoku. Not really spotting any. So you may find me pencil marking more than I normally do. Fours, no four. Nah, not helpful. Not helpful. Right, we're done with cages. I am basically just missing Sudoku. So 4 is in here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 all goes in here. In fact, there's another 7, 8, which is none of these cells. So this is 4, 7, 8. And then in here is 5, 9, and another 7, 8. So the rest of these are known. They are 2 and 6, and they're not resolved. Excuse me. Four is in here. So yeah, where is 4 in row 3? It's none of these cells. Can't be this cell. That's a 4. That's a 2. That's a 6. 2 can't be in here or there. That's a 2. This is another 7, 8, 9. Right, starting to make some progress again. 2s, 2s, not 2. That's 2. That's not 2. That's 2. I think that's 2's done. And 3 X-Wigs are still around. And let's see what else can I resolve now. That is a bad pencil mark, isn't it? No, it's fine, because essentially these are 7, 8, 9s. It's just I looked at the 7, 8 and the 8, 9, ignoring this cell, but I kind of got away with it. That's a 5. There's another 7, 9, weirdly. Yeah, because it's not 8. And then the question is, how could I have anything but 9 in here, given I don't have 9 there? And I don't have 9 there because I need to have it in here in row 2. So yeah, there's a 9 in here. And therefore this is 7. This is an 8, 9 pair. This is another 7. And therefore this is 5, 8, 9. There's no 8 in here. This is a 4, 7 pair. And then I have 6, 8, and 9 in here. Not 8, not 9, no resolution. This is 6, 7, 9 in the column. For some reason, this feels less elegant than I would like. I feel like I'm bouncing all over the place and not really very systematic, which is not my preferred style. No 5s. There's a 5. I feel like I've made a mistake. Yeah, bad pencil mark because of the 7. So that has to be a 5. This is not 7. That's 6. That's 9. That's 6, 8. In here, I have 6, 7, and 9. The 9 can't be there, so that's 9. This is a 6, 7 pair. That's an 8. That's a 6. Doesn't help me with 7, 8. This is 4, 7, 8. Okay, that's not a 4. Not enough. 3, 4 pair. That's not a 4 either. That's the only place for a 4. That gives me a 5 in here. These two cells are known. They are 7, 8. In fact, that's 7. Means that's 8. That's 7. That's not 7. Right, this can't be 6, 7. This can't be 5, 8. This is 4, 9. That can't be 9. That's 8. This is not 8 or 7. This is a 6. That has to be less. That's 5. And this is 2 or 4 because it needs to be less than 5. In fact, it's not 2. It's 4, 3, 4. And this has to be 5 now because of Sudoku. This is another 6, 7. Seemingly unresolved for now. 4, 9 pair, however, does give me 7, 4, 6, 7, 6. 4, 9 means that's not 9. But this is 5 or 8 and it can't be 5. That's 8, that's 5. These are not 5s. This is not an 8. That's 9, 8. There's a 9 in one of these two cells, plus a 7. And then 4, 3, 7, 9. I mean, the 3 is resolved, so that's 3. That can't be 7. That's 9. That's 7. That's 9. No, 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 don't do that. That's 9. That's not 9. This is a 6, 7, 8 triple. That can't be 7 or 8. That's 6. This is a 7, 8 pair. That seems fine. 9, 4, 7 or 8. In fact, 8 gives me 7, 8, 7, 8, 7, 9, 8, 9, I think. Then I need 5 and 6. 5 and 6 for the finish. Still over 10 minutes. So, like, I think my Sudoku scanning is weaker, despite the fact that I am deliberately looking for Sudoku constantly now. I seem to be taking longer with these puzzles. I'm going to keep going anyway and take a look at puzzle 2, where hopefully it would still give me a decent solve time overall. Let's have a look. Rules-wise, we've got normal Sudoku, Kropki Dots. We've covered the black dots before. White dots, they have to be consecutive and not all dots are given, so no negative constraint. If that's a 2, this would have to be 1 or 3. If I put a 4 in here and a 1 in here, clearly consecutive, clearly in a 2-to-1 ratio, no black dot, no white dot, all of that is allowed. And then we just have region sum lines. So the blue lines in the grid are region sum lines. Lines are split into segments by box borders. Within each individual line, the sum of the digits on each segment is the same, and the sum of the segments on different lines may or may not be equal. I think that's fairly well worded. Essentially what it's saying is that these two cells add up to a value, and that value would have to be written in here because it's divided by the segment, and it would have to be the sum of these two cells. That value can be different from this line, could be different from this line, etc., etc., etc. That's all the rules we have for today. So, as always, link in the description down below. Oh, excuse me, that is from Scott Strosahl. So it is not from James Sinclair. Link in the description down below. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. Now, one thing that I'm kind of wondering, if I'm honest, is this all one region sum line in this dumbbell? And I think the answer to that is yes. So these 3 cells have to add up to at least 6, because 1, 2, 3 tells me that this is at least 6. But it's also a maximum of 9 because it has to be written on a single cell. And these two sides are equivalent. Now, I also know it's an odd digit. And I know that because I have a white Kropki dot on this segment. So if you think about it, one of them has to be even, one of them has to be odd. The sum of them will, of course, be odd. So this is 7 or 9. This is 7 or 9. Now, the black Kropki dot is probably going to help me. I can definitely get to a 9 with 3, 6. I'm kind of struggling to see how I would get to 7 with a 2-to-1 ratio. You see, the challenge with odd digits is one of them has to be odd, and the only other odd black Kropki dot is 1, and its double would be 2. This would only get me to 3. So 3 works, 1 doesn't, and there are no other odd dots to try. So this is 3, 6, this is 9. This means this is 4, 5. This is another 9. This is another 4, 5. And this is another 3, 6. And here's our break-in with the dumbbell. I definitely feel like I've exercised enough. I don't really want to do any more. Let's have a think now. Again, this has to be an odd digit. And we know it's not 9. So let's think about these two cells. I mean, it would be ridiculous, but I could do 1, 2, 1, 2, and a 3. So that's not very helpful, but this is 3, 5, or 7. You could say the same thing in here, because again, this could be 3, 5, or 7. I'm not sure this can be 1, 2. If you have a think about this, if this is 1, this would be 2, and it's not. If this is 2, this would be 1 or 3, and it isn't. So we know that 3 is off the table on this section. This is 5 or 7. 5 works with 2, 3. 7 doesn't, because it would require 3, 4 to be consecutive, and 4, 5 is not available. So this is 2, 3, this is a 5. These two cells could be, well, it's not 2, 3, 3 is not available. This is 1, 4. If that's 1, that would be 2. If this is 4, well, it's not 3, that would be 5. So yeah, I think I can eliminate 7 in here for the exact same reason. 3, 4, not available. 5 feels again very tricky. You see, the black Kropki dot, back to the fact that I'm adding up to an odd digit, it can only be 1, 2 or 3, 6. And this is 1, 2, this is 3, and this is another 1, 2 pair. Lovely. These cells, let's have a think about them. They are not 3, 6. They could be 1, 2. Notice the 1, 4 in essence in here. And the 4, 5. So if there is 4, it would have to be there. Realistically, I can get away with a 2 and an 8. So this is not the right one to explore. I can even get away with a 1, 2 pair, can't I? So, I mean, it'll be very difficult to disambiguate because, you know, the 1, 2s line up and then I would have Sudoku in here and these. So, like, it'll be very difficult. I say very difficult, possibly impossible. But we're not necessarily assuming there's a unique solution. Where am I going? So 3 is up here because of Sudoku. 9 is not there, so it has to be in here. 9 has to be on the white dots, so this is 8 and 9 pair. 1, 2, 3, 6, 8, 9. This is 5, 7, 8. Very helpful. I say very helpful, not that helpful. But because 5 and 7 cannot be on the black Kropki dot. But it's the only thing that's eliminated is 4, 8. But both of 4, 2, 1, well, it can't be 1, 2, excuse me. 1, 2 would break this cell. 2, 4 works with 4 here, that would be 4, that would be 2. 4, 8 is not available. 4, 8 is not available because of the 8 in here. 3, 6, however, is, and there is no real restriction on placement. 5, 7, and 8. Why did I do that? I think because I made a bad assumption. Sorry. Delete and ignore everything I've just said. I think it's just because I put 1, 2, 1, 2, and I put 1, 2 in here, and then I relied on it. And that was illustrative, not an actual part of the solve. No 3. No 3. 3s are very restricted in box 9. So 3 and 6 on this white Kropki dot, you know, in between them doesn't actually work either because I've got 4, 5 looking at it in the column. So this is either 1, 2 or 7, 8, 9. And 1, 2 is at least achievable this time. I would have 2s and it would force a 2 up here, but it wouldn't force a 1. So it would still, you know, can still be resolved. This can't be 5. This cannot be 5. That's a 5. 5's in box 3 now. It's one of these 2 cells. Nine. 9. Maybe I should do a little bit more Sudoku more carefully. I don't know if I'm going to keep this, by the way, this pencil mark. This is just not very useful. 1, 2 pair works. So 1, 2 would make this 7, 8, 9, would make this 4, and all of that is fine. And this would be another 7, 8, 9. 7, 8 specifically, or probably 7 because the 8 and 9 would have to be in here. So all of that is good. We know this is not 3, 6. 2, 4, well, would make this 1. This would still be not 1 or 2. So this would still be 7, 8, 9 with an 8 for sure. And then the last option is 4, 8. 4, 8, I think, breaks the puzzle because I put a 4, 8 in here. That would be 1. And then 1, 2 is not an option. And 7, 8, 9 is not an option. So 4, 8 is out. This is 1, 2, or 4 with a definite 2. That removes the 1, 2 pair option in here. There has to be an 8, remember, in there. That's a 1, 2, 4 triple. This is 7, 8, 9, but it's not a 9. And it can't be 8 because the 8 has to be in here. So that's 7. That can't be 9. That's 9. That's 8. And this is 1, 2, 4. Lovely. Two, 3, 3, 3, although it can't be this cell because of the 3, 6 pair in here. 3 in here would be tricky because that would have to be 4. Oh yeah, it can't be. If this is 3, what from 2 and 4, well, 2 is not available, 4 is not available. So that's not 3, that is 3. These two cells now add up to 6. 1, 5 is an option, as is 2, 4. The challenge with 3 cells for 9 is you don't know if you have to force a 1 on it. So it's always a little bit trickier. 2, 3 means that is not 2, which means that it's not 4. And that's all I can do at the moment, seemingly. 1, 2 means this is not 1, and therefore this is not 5. So the smaller digit is in here with 1, 2. This is a 4, 5 pair. 1 cannot be here because it's a white Kropki dot and would require a 2 and it's not available. 1 cannot be here or there because of the 1, 2 pair. Only place for a 1 is in here. That's 2, that's 4, that's 5, that's 4. That is not 4. That's a 1, 2 pair, not very useful. And then the rest of this is 6, 7, 8, 9. Which is unfortunately not enough to resolve despite the white Kropki dots in here. Four gave me 5, gave me 4. So this is 6 or 8. So if you think, if you look at the, it's not 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. It could be 6. It's not 7. It could be 8. It's not 9. So this is 6 or 8, which makes this an odd digit, but it's not 5. So this is 7 or 9, and this is 6 or 8 again. Of course, it doesn't have to be the same 6 or 8. This could be 8, 7, 6, for example, or for that matter, 6, 7, 8. And obviously, if this is 9, that's 4, so it's a double 8. Excuse me. One, 2, 1, 2. This is a 2. And that should have been there a while ago. 4, 1. No 1s. That's the 2, that's the 4. That's the 1, that's the 2. 4 now is up here in one of these two cells. This black Kropki dot is probably getting very restricted now, but there's 6, 8, 7, 9. There's another 6, 8, 7, 9. The 9 is not in any of these cells. That's the 9. That's the 7. Doesn't allow me to choose these 6, 8s. This is 6, 8. This is 6, 7, 8 with a definite 7. Can this be 7? Not sure why that would be a problem. That would be 6 or 8. That won't be 7, so that would have to be 5 because it can't be 9. So essentially, if this is 7, that can't be 8 because this cannot be 7 or 9. So essentially, we'd go 7, 6, 5. That would be 8. That would be 9. In fact, 9 is there regardless. And 5 has to be on this because of this 6, 8 pair. So 5 with a consecutive digit that is not 4 gives me a 5, 6 pair in here. This cannot be 8, but it can actually be 6. I could go 6, 5, 6, for example, with an 8 in here. That's fine. 5, 6 pair gives me 3, 6, 3, 6, and then a couple of known digits, 7 and 9, 7 and 8. Unresolved 7, 8. This is another 7, 8. Then I have 7, 8, and, well, not 9. So another 7, 8 plus something. That something is a 4. And then that's a triple of 4, 7, 8s. This is not, there you go. So that is resolved. Did that 8 help me? No. This could still be 6. I mean, it's removed 8 from here, which forces an 8 in there, which forces a 6 in here. And then this ends up being a 6-7 pair and a 5-6 pair and then a 7-8 pair. Right, that's fine. What are these cells? 1, 4, and 2. 2 can't be here. 4 can't be here. That's 1. This is 2, 4. 2, 4, 8, 9. So I am missing 1, which joins the 5, except that 5 resolves, and then a 6-7 pair. And then that gives me 3 with 8 and 9, which it can't be 9. So that's 9, that's 8. And this is 3, 8, unresolved, 3, 8, unresolved, 3, 8. And these are 7 and 6. 7 can't be there. That's 7, that's 6, that can't be 8, that's 3, that's 8. That's lovely. I need in here 1 and 4, that's 4 and 1. I need 2, 3, 6, that's not 6. One of these is 6, we knew that in a way. Excuse me, that's not 9, that is 9. This is not 5, this is 6, 7, 6, 5. This is 1. This is 7, 8. That is 8. That is 7. 8 and 7 are both in here. Where it technically could have an 8 in here with a 4 in there, can't it? Yes. So the only thing I can do is just that. So we know this is not 1, 2. We also know this is not 2, 4. We know it can be 3, 6, and we know it can be 4, 8. So 8, 4, 6, 3, just Sudoku. And this is 2, 3, 4, but it's not 3. This is 2 or 4. 2, 4 pair gave me 1, 2, 4, 2. 4 has given me 3, 6. 3 has given me 2, 4. And this is a 3, 6 pair. In fact, a resolved 3, 6 pair. 2 and 3. 7 and 8 in here are also resolved. 7 and 8, which also resolves a bunch of things in here. 7, neither of which is 7. This one is not 8 either. That's 4. That's 8. That's 7. That's 8. And we're very much at the end here. 1, 2, and if I've not made any mistakes, 5 for the finish. You know, supposedly a much higher difficulty rating puzzle, but I guess maybe I've warmed up, so almost as fast as the previous solve. Regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed the 2 puzzles and the video. And I'm now going to go and freshen up and wind down after a long day. Bye-bye for now.